All right, there's a 0-day stay for Penmar. There used to be a hotel here, part of his property, and there's the Penmar park down there, state park, county park, I'm not sure, but walk through it. So we're just going to walk back to it and get on with it. Well, this might talk about the hotel here. Good morning, everyone. Slow and steady here. Just finished a 0 yesterday. The day before that stayed at Sunflower Cottage, or the night before. Last night I stayed at 0 Stay Hostel. Both great places for different reasons. Check them both out online and see which one if you want to stay at one of them. But anyway, got a small resupply yesterday at Walmart, and good 0 day. My feet were swollen and sore, and they're still swollen today, but a little less sore, and we're going to try to do 15 miles or less today, keep it a little bit shorter and a little bit easier. You see the sign's not quite accurate this year, but it's a good average for a lot of years. Where I'm in Penmar Park, just across the street from the hostel, the 0 Stay Hostel. This is where the AT goes. It's where I went to finish the 4-State Challenge 2 days ago, and just got to backtrack on a little bit of that trail to get back to Pennsylvania. The park and this hostel are both in Maryland again. So just up here, a quarter mile or so, is the Mason-Dixon line in Pennsylvania. So then we'll start that next 200 or 300 miles of trail in Pennsylvania. Then meet up with some friends in Jersey and old colleagues and friends. But let's see, it's raining today. Let's see what the old thing says. It says 53 degrees and it's raining right now. I'm actually cold for a change, but there's a 500 or 600 foot climb coming up in a minute, so it should warm up real fast. Excuse me. Other than that, just had a big breakfast at 0 Stay at Sunflower Cottage. Sula made a wonderful breakfast. At 0 Stay, you make your own, but there's good stuff there: eggs and pancake mix, and even Pop-Tarts and everything you need. So both great places. So, and they'll refer each other to each other if one doesn't have room or it doesn't work out. Sula has a couple of bunks. 0 Stay has all private rooms. And both owners are great, so can't go wrong either way. Anyway, let's get to hiking, and I'll show you what I can show you today. If there's anything to see, I'm sure there'll be something. Or if I get some random thoughts in my head, I feel like talking to myself on film, or ultimately talking to you. We'll catch up real soon. All right, one more trip across the Mason-Dixon line from Maryland, going into Pennsylvania now. There's a little logbook mailbox here in the post. We filled out a short little thing in there, just showing the 4-State Challenge, not as a bragging way, because it'd be a little bit nuts to try that damn thing, but it was tough. It was tough, so I don't recommend it the most. I'm not in wonderful shape. I'm in pretty good shape after walking this far, but it pushed the boundaries a little bit of what I'm comfortable doing. So, but anyway, we're try to do a little shorter days here for a few days and see how everything heals up. Catch up. Here's a nice early moment of zen today, day 74. This road's fun to cross. Maybe we'll get a break after this SUV and run for it. You know, it's kind of interesting. After passing Harper's Ferry, there's another hiker bubble. It's the flip-floppers that start in Harper's Ferry and head up to Maine. Well, I've caught up to them, so stay tuned and see what the next few days look like. And just to clarify, a flip-flopper is someone that starts somewhere other than the north or south end of the AT. They hike somewhere, then they go somewhere else and hike the other way. Very common one, who I'm running into now. They start in Harper's Ferry. They hike up to Mount Katahdin in Maine at the end, northern end. They come back to Harper's Ferry and they hike down to the southern end in Georgia at Amicalola Falls, but there could be a million versions of that. Seems to be a pretty common one. The bad news is that means campgrounds and shelters are probably going to be full going north here. Good news is they don't have their trail legs yet, so hopefully in a few days we'll get past most of the flip-floppers and get back to normal crowds, except for the weekends. It's starting to be hiking season up here, and the weekends are going to be crowded. So we'll see how it all plays out, and see if we can avoid getting sick with a whole group of new people. It's the first set of new faces I've consistently seen for a while. Most northbound hikers from Springer we know or have heard of, and we've been around. You pass each other off and on, depending on when you take days off in town and what your mileage is and so forth. So it's good to see new faces, but with that comes some other risks. We'll see how it all works out. Here are the deer lick shelters. First set of shelters I've seen personally. That there's a pair and a campsite. They're each fairly small. There's a privy way up the hill there, I think. Bear poles, tent pads over here on the left. Oh, I don't know what's up the hill, because here's the privy right next to it. But anyway, cute little pair of shelters, but it's only a few miles in. We still have a long way to go today. Not a long way, but probably 5 miles in, another 10 to go. Still early, trying to convince myself to do less miles today. We'll see. All right, made it to Tumbling Run shelters. Still early in the day, but I think a few people from Zero Day Hostel who are just starting since Harper's Ferry. I think they'll stay here tonight. That's a good hike, I guess, for them this early in their AT adventure. I can't imagine stopping here now with somewhat developed trail legs. So right now there's a privy over here on the right. The shelters, another set of twins over on the left. See them back there, a little gazebo in between them. This looks like a nice one for everybody to hang out tonight. There's a fire pit here, 2 shelters, a little gazebo in the middle with the picnic table, Tumbling Run over it, and plenty of tent sites. This would be a nice one if it lined up with the mileage for the day, but it doesn't, so keep heading north. Here's a view from Chimney Rocks today. All right, about 15 miles into day 1 in Pennsylvania. We're in the clouds. The rain is starting to let up. I don't know if it's fog or clouds, but it's kind of cool looking. A little different. Hopefully it's not this way where we camp later. Everything gets damp and there's no way around it, but maybe the breeze will blow it away. Find out. Rocks in Pennsylvania? No way. Oh boy. We'll see how it goes. The trail is actually over here, so it's not that bad. This time the trail goes over the rocks. Big rocks. Let's go have some fun. For reference, this is the road to Fayetteville and 65 Barbecue, the barbecue joint. That's at Route 30, Fayetteville. I think it's all down there. They said there's a hostel, stores, restaurants, the barbecue place, which is closed now, or I would try to go get something to eat. Anyway, a few more miles to the shelter. We skipped the 15-miler and just going to the 20-mile shelter. Call it good. And no trail camping next 2 miles. It's all right. but the rain has stopped, it looks like, so time to get up here and get something to eat and have a little fun. All right, this explains why the trail got rerouted. We noticed the AT was really down here coming towards me. They had some storm damage, so they've rerouted it along the gas pipeline route. So there's a nice river down here. Anyway, we joined right back up here. No big deal. We're trying to figure out. We could clearly see there was the correct trail was not what we were on, but at least they were nice enough to reroute us. All right, here's a little signage for Caledonia State Park. All right, guess we're going across this bridge. Yeah, check out the river. Bet this place floods. There's some people over in the pavilion there having a good time with a gigantic fire in the fireplace. You can see it over there. Well, this looks fun. This is stairs for 500 feet and half a mile. They have to put a black diamond like on skiing in there. Most difficult. That's okay. I need a little workout. I think I'm gonna get one. That's all right. Only a couple more miles or mile to go to camp, so I'll survive. That 45-mile day made these 20-mile days seem pretty, not easy, but pretty straightforward. My feet still hurt, but fitness-wise, I'm doing pretty well. Let's catch up there. I'll see him on the way down the other side. All right, everyone. It's getting close to the end of the day. Day 74 is almost done. Day 1 in Pennsylvania. At least this part of Pennsylvania isn't rocky yet. It's no more than the rest of the trail has been. Quarry something shelter's coming up. It's another double shelter. Just about a quarter mile up the trail here. So I thought I'd wrap this up. I understand there's going to be quite a few people up here. This Harper's Ferry northbound bubble, and it happens to be the weekend, so it might be interesting. So I don't want to make a bunch of noise in camp, so I want to say goodnight from here. This shelter is going to be at mile 1088, which means tomorrow's 1100 miles. Tomorrow is the halfway point somewhere, and 1100 miles. And if we walk fast enough, the half-gallon ice cream challenge. Look it up online if you want, or you can wait and see if we make it into town early enough to try it. It's right off the trail, I understand, but it's about 18 miles away, so you gotta get there in business hours and give it a shot. I think I can eat a half-gallon ice cream. Anyway, let's find out. And like always, I'll share what I can here in camp, if anything. Also, it's obvious, but if there's anything you like here, hit the subscribe button. Helps me out and helps me understand what you guys enjoy and what you don't. And the like button if there's anything at all today. It's kind of been rainy, not a lot of great views or anything. But it was a pretty good 20-mile day of hiking with foot pain, but not terrible. So I've been able to stop and rest them and walk a little slower most of the day. Thought something was coming up. It doesn't look like it. How about that green tunnel? Really looks like a tunnel. It was. There's another one coming up. Anyway, I'll catch up later. If I don't talk to you tonight, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. And I made it to Cory Gap Shelters. There's a bear box here. Put your food in there. Put the carabiner back on. Look at this. It has a welcome fence. Welcome sign with a little duck. These little platforms are setting up a tent. Doesn't help me much using a tarp, but look at this little place. It's like log cabins. Where is everyone, Bob?
I don't know. I don't see anybody.
Well, you thought there were going to be a lot of people here. Look at that. Two little huts. That's pretty neat. help prevent wildfires. No campfires. They've got it tarped over. Just wouldn't want anything to burn in this raging rain. There's another one. All right, time for dinner.